What I have here is a maple blank, don't know what year. It's in wax, so it's been dried slowly. Cut it in half, make two shallow bowls, matching, I hope. Making one bowl is easy, even for a beginner. Making two the same might be a challenge. These are 5 inches diameter and 2.5 tall. And I'm doing the one with the odd space here first, because that's going to dictate the base shape. This is cross grain. So, bowl gouge. Use a 5/8. Has a fan on. Safety glasses on. $1,300. A little bit left. See how big a tendon we can get out of this. 45, 70. We had 70 there? Yes, 45, 70, and 85 on the step jaws. So 35 millimeters here. And make a couple millimeters larger, because I find as I shape these things, they tend to shrink. That will be the foot. 3/8. And we have 72, I'll take that. It will probably shrink. Making two identical objects takes at least twice as long as making just one, and at least half of it is repetition. This video was twice as long as it should be, so on the final edit, I condensed, sped up, and cut wherever I could and still retain the thread of the story, and I reduced it by 40%. You're welcome. Okay, a little bit of sanding. Starting with 180 in reverse. A little bit of grain standing up. And a final touch of hand sanding with the grain to get rid of circle scratches. Okay, that's 400. I seldom go above 320 because I can't tell the difference. But I got a plan. I go straight to Axe Wax without sanding sealer and without the abrasive paste. Interesting to see how this works out because I've never done this. But I watch the turners who use nothing but a little linseed oil and beeswax. Takes them about 2 minutes. I'm trying to simplify my own operation. I hate waiting all day for things to dry. Then you go back and buff them up, put on another coat, yakety yakety yak. I want one and done. Okay. We're covered in wax. Same applicator cloth at 1140. Generates heat. Which I can feel. Let that cool off for a minute. Still a little warm. That looks and feels very nice. Here's my profile for the next one. See if we get 2 matching bowls out of this. Making a copy of the first bowl is pretty much the same movie, so I won't waste a lot of your time with it. I made my own big caliper. Don't remember how far it opens. Not quite far enough. I can fix that though. I'll just shorten this up. Okay, cut a bunch off of this. There is my diameter. So I'll just keep coming down until I have that, and I'll bring this down until I have this. From there. Look at the blood. And I need a scalpel. Got almost 74 there, 72 here. Looks good. More down here. Here, got to come off more there, much smaller shoulder there. I soon realized that making two nearly identical bowls takes more than twice as much time as making one bowl because of all the constant stopping, checking, cutting off a little, checking again, marking again, a little bit more here, a little bit more there. It takes quite a while. When I get down to that last millimeter or less, I go very slowly. I don't want to make this one too small and have to go back and redo the first one. I'll have to modify the outside shape of both bowls before I turn them around, but that's for a different reason. Well, this is as close as I'm going to get it. I'm a little bit too small up here. Smaller than this one. I can't do anything about that. I don't know. I still keep on the fiddle with this. I should probably stop. So I'll sand this up. Wax it. This one is just a little narrower at the top. Yeah, a millimeter and a half smaller, if that. This is not going to work, because when I put the foot in the chuck for this step here, the top step hits the bowl before this clamps down on the foot, and it starts to lift the bowl out. It lifts the bowl so that the steps, the jaws down there, have less than a millimeter, maybe a half a millimeter grip there. So what I'm going to have to do is put these back on the worm screw, change the profile a little. So I'm just going to clean this off, take a new silhouette with the orange gadget. Okay, this is not quite sitting the same way on the worm screw. Because I didn't have it tight enough. Now it's good, but not good enough. Use the little scraper, I think. Not perfectly in sync spin-wise, but certainly close enough. I still don't recognize that little bit of off-center is going to cause a real problem later if I don't change something. Before I'll get all wrapped up in sanding, I should check to see if I've taken enough off of that. And I think I've not taken off enough. I'm clear some places, not others, because the tenon is no longer perfectly centered. I can't cut that any smaller. It's bare minimum as it is. I'll rethink that very soon. That'll do it, I think. Clear here, clear here, clear everywhere. So now I can sand and wax and undo the other one. Okay, more sanding, reverse. Just occurred to me, if I, now that this is concentric with a worm screw And this is not. If I use this tenon, the inside of the bowl is not going to be concentric with the outside. If it was a thick-walled bowl, not enough to notice. This is not a thick-walled bowl. And I am not wedded to those step jaws. So I just measured everything, except for one set of jaws I don't use. Step jaws will do 70. I lost some footage right here. I realized I could make that tenon, the foot, a little bit smaller, get it concentric, and still use the step jaws. I don't have any other jaws exactly the right size. Okay, it's all done and waxed. This is how much the profile changed. So do the same on the other one. So we'll just reset these now. Got it. Ready to apply to this one. About 12:30. So it's either changed shape or it's not quite centered up the way it was. Got to come down quite a bit more. It'll come down all the way up just to make it even. Come down just a little bit on this tenon. Shows how tight these chucks hang on with no reverse set screw, just friction of the threads, I suppose. I got the plastic washer in there. Back to the Vicmark 100 with Richard Raffin designed step jaws. And there we are. All set to start hollowing out. I think I want to come down almost half an inch, rough grain. If I come down to here, that will take care of that, and I'll just do the same on the other one. Well, here's the neat sharpening. Try the 5/8. That's better. Pencil line is gone. Half-inch spindle gouge to refine the inner walls. Scraper time, I think. Reverse 120, 550. That's pretty much the profile. Almost flat across the bottom. But the depths ended up being 38 on the button. That probably leaves 4 or 5 on the bottom, 5 here, 4.5 or 5. So it should be pretty even all the way around. Again, just axe wax. Here's the first one. Now, let's see what we have. Okay, these walls are a little thicker. This bowl is a little smaller. By that I mean a millimeter. hair more than that maybe. They feel very much the same. Close enough I think I can call these a matching pair. So here they are. Not identical but very similar. This wall is a little thicker, half a millimeter maybe, diameter. The difference is about a millimeter. 111 and a half. 113. So a millimeter and a half difference. 3/4 of a millimeter in radius. They aren't quite round anymore, probably because of irregular sanding. But I'm pleased. The extra 2 millimeters I left in each tenon gave me room to true them up to match the outside of the bowl, so the inside was concentric. It came out pretty well, I think.